steering, it is broken now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here for the second round of this season here in F1 2020 SF1 Roads in the comms booth. Here, bringing you guys GP1 for Sunday. We are at the United States Grand Prix, otherwise known as Circuit of the Americas. Cardinals already in the chat saying, "Nice theme song." Oh, nice theme song. Thanks to you, mate. You're the one that actually made it for us. We do especially appreciate it. Here we are with Sync Rainer. He's going to be the first guy to set his benchmark lap here for short qualifying. Second round, as we had a phenomenal opening round at the Brazilian Grand Prix last week. Let's see if these guys can counteract that and make this race even better. Even though I'm not particularly a fan of this track, it is riddled with bugs. I would say I was caught out on Friday by one. Let's see what time Reno can get on the board this evening. We have 19 drivers. We have one that is a little bit behind. He's coming home from work. Harrison will be joining at some point in the short qualifying. I'm not sure if he's going to get that bug, though, during the qualifying where he's going to put a lap in. And it might be one of the top, but it might bunch him back down. Hunica, what is going on? Good to see you, man. How are you guys doing? So Reno gets through Sector 1 pretty clean. Let's see how we can do long backstretch here. DRS is going to be available for these guys during the race. Within 1 second behind that Delta. Brochi, let's go McLaren. He's rooting for his team. I'd have to often say no favoritism for myself, but let's go Alfa Romeo. We had a mare of race on Friday, but I'm sure that myself and Zola will counteract that in later races of the season. Already done some talking on our court. Rayner locks up a little bit going into Sector 3. A tricky sector, a lot of left-rights, and a long sweeping right here. There's Red Bull going out the corner there. Coming up to the last two left-handers. Easy to invalidate your lap there. If you push the track limits too much, it's going to go around the last corner and set a lap. It's going to be a 130.8 right off the bat. I know Eke was just behind him. I wonder if he let anybody go through. It doesn't look like it. He has invalidated this lap, though. So let's see who might just be behind Eke. It's going to be his teammate. That is SF1 Tom. He's going to lap on the board. No, he is on an out lap. We have Salva coming in. Not Salva. See, I even said Salva. Alfa Romeo. I think that was Stig getting ready to do his hot lap. All right, let's jump through. Enzo sets a 30.4 right off the bat. We have a Mercedes, I believe. That is JML setting a 30.4 to enact Enzo's time. We have Smids getting on the board with a 32.4. Schoof getting a little out of control there. Trying to keep my eye on the guys that are finishing here. We have the next Racing Point coming up. He's going to pull into the pits as he's invalidated this lap. AlphaTauri is next. Is that Aruzia? Aruzia had a great qualifying last week in Brazil. Unfortunately, the race didn't go his way. Harrison has joined, so let's see if he can actually get a lap on the board, and the game will actually keep him there. But Aruzia is starting his lap now. We have Jono who's going to do his lap on a medium compound. Jono making his way back in after having an injury out a couple of weeks. Actually, it started last week. He was out for a couple of weeks, but really good to see him back in. I was actually unaware that the season started last week, so he just found out the season started. They said he was bored. I sent him an invite, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know the season started already," but small talks, really. So let's see how he can do this evening without minimal practice. Track, it's kind of one of those tracks where you can practice a lot, and you still kind of don't feel comfortable. It's more like the more laps you put in, the more it comes to you. As SF1 Carlos retires from the session, reserving this evening for the Williams driver, Almondale. Not here. We have Tom sending 131.2. Stig goes 130.3, so top of the board right now. That is a pretty quick time. I would say some of the times we were seeing GP2 are in the 32s and 33s, so I mean, some of the guys here are already really quick, even on their first lap. But how are you guys doing for round two? You guys excited to watch this race? 28 laps. These guys are gonna have to contend with this track. Very commonly known with a lot of places to pick up a penalty. SF1 Senna gets himself a 31.2. I don't think he's pushing, but you can see Senna brings back that legendary Senna helmet for the Ferrari duo. Wrong car though. It should be in the McLaren. But Senna winning the GP2 title last season, that is a promotion automatically into GP1 for SF1. Same with GP3s. You saw Phantom move into GP2. He won the GP3 title last season. We'll keep an eye on some of these guys to see how the Ferrari duo does this evening. Top of the constructors, as we call right now. I'll give you guys a look at that during the 5-minute break before the race. Take a look. Schuf is pushing for a lap here. He's invalidated, actually. Jono's invalidated. Gamer Boss invalidates on that final corner. So pulls in the pits. Paranel in the pits. Eke's on an out lap now. He gets to set a lap. Hellboy in McLaren is pushing for a lap, so let's stick on board with this guy. As the rest of the guys, Zero, he's on an out lap. He finished, I believe it was 4th in the Brazilian Grand Prix. I do apologize, sometimes my memory isn't the best, but I do believe it was 4th. He is on a flyer as we speak, so we'll stay on board with him as Hellboy just started his, so we'll pop back with the McLaren driver in just a bit. Let's see what kind of time Zero can get on the board. Very, very quick driver. A lot of podiums last season looking for that title. With Anton and Harrison kind of battling on that last season, the door is kind of open here. Gamer Boss picking up the win last week. Had a nice battle with these guys, Harrison and Zero. Here comes Zero. What kind of time can he get on the board for his first lap? It's going to be a 30.2, so just edging out. And Aruzia does it again. Puts himself second on the board. I just missed that. What a lap from Aruzia. We said we were going to jump back with Hellboy. See what kind of time he can get on the board. It looks like Harrison might do a first lap on the medium compound. Hellboy coming around the final corner of this track, crosses the line and does a 31.4. So a couple guys in the 30s, a couple guys right now in the 31s, one guy Smids in 32. Doesn't look like he's pushing this lap. We do have Jono going a little slowly. Couple guys here. Eke's on a flyer. Let's ride on board with the Renault driver for his lap. Eke crossing the line P2 last week in the Brazilian Grand Prix. You're going to come up into the famous penalty and corners here. The S is in the United States Grand Prix, followed by a long right-hand turn, immediately a left-hand turn. Sets the quick, I wonder if that's personal best. Slow on the gears here, immediately left, coming up, attack the curve. This is where Sebastian Vettel's car broke, if you guys remember. And then ride the curves here, brake at the 50-meter just before. Eke locks up a little bit, coming into the long back stretch. And it'll give you guys a nice, interesting piece of this. Well, after that, Eke opens up the DRS coming down the long stretch. That red that you see on the side of this track was actually imported by, I believe it was Maranello in Italy. They bought in a special paint just to paint this track to give it more of an authentic Formula One feel. So that paint came straight from Maranello's. Eke locks up really heavy going into those two double lefts around the long sweeping right hand. As you remember, Max Verstappen getting penalized for overtaking Kimi Räikkönen there. Coming up to, you don't want to invalidate. You got to really brake hard. Coming up, last final corner, ride the inside curb. DRS is open, crossing the line. Eke goes 130.4. So Schuf is on an out lap. We have a couple other guys on an out lap. Harrison now on a flyer with those medium compounds. So I would say look to be around the low 31s, maybe mid 31s for his first run here. He's going to have enough time to get back in the pits. He might abandon this lap. He might just be getting a feel of how the car feels. Champion of GP1 last season. Finished P3 in the first race last week. looking to extend his advantage on some of the guys in the midfield. Although I'm still wondering if he's going to get that bug. A lot of guys now on a flyer. We have Paranel on a flyer, Subs on a flyer, Gamerblocks is on a flyer. Keep your eye on that Red Bull driver, Gamerblocks. He is mighty quick. JML still sitting top of the board with a 29.9. Just improved on his time, so the Mercedes duo looking quite strong. We'll see what Harrison can do. Can he match his teammate? Oh, he's just invalidated this lap, so I have a feeling he's going to pull into the pits and have one go at this. Take a look at some of the other guys. Let's see what Paranel can get himself into. Definitely a personal best for Sector 2. Coming into Sector 3 now, like I said, the trickier part of the track. A lot of low-speed corners and a lot of high-traction corners. You put power down, the back end of that car is going to step out way too quick. Geez, JML got some pace. Yeah, he does. He definitely does. Ask SF1 Senna about that, Croce. There now goes P4 with a 30.2. That is a really good showing from the AlphaTauri. Let's keep an eye on some of the other guys down the block. Schuf just put a lap in with a 30.8. Gamer Boss, has he? No, he's still on a flyer. Harrison, has he stayed out on track? He has. He's invalidated this lap as well, so he's really gonna have to pull it into the pits soon. Can Jono get a lap in? He's gonna go for a flyer as we speak now. Gamer Boss is behind, or is he in front of Jono? Let's see. I think he's in front of Jono. He's definitely in front of Jono. Gamer Boss coming up to the backstretch now. 2 DRS zones at this track. We have one in the straight line. What is going on back there? We have one on the start-finish line going up into turn 1 with the elevation on that turn, that left-hand turn. It can be blinding at sometimes. We have the DRS zone there on the backstretch too. Apparently, one of the longer backstretches on the calendar. I continue to say that, but I do believe that is one of the longer DRS zoned backstretches. Means I take a sip of my hot coffee. Gamer Boss coming up now. It is going to be mighty quick. He's on a 25 as we speak, going into the final corner. Locks up a little bit. 28 gets a little out of shape. 20 or 29.7. 2/10 faster than JML. What a lap. Sync Rainer gets himself into P3. Enzo P4. Paranel right now P5. Zero P6. Aruzzi is P7. We have SF on Stig sitting P8. Eke P9. Schuf P10. Really good showing so far from the Red Bull duo. Senna is 11th. We have Tom in 12th. We have Hellboy in 13th. Hubdy is 14th. Soap 15th. Smids in 16th. Jono yet to set a lap as well as Harrison, Mama, and all those. Carlos is going to sit this one out because he is a reserving this evening for the Williams team. So yeah, a lot of these guys putting quite the laps in this evening. See if Harrison can get himself out. Smids is retired. I think he's not happy with either his setup or he's felt like a 32.4 is the best he can do. Take a look at some of the other guys here. They're going to have to come out probably with this track being at 130. You'd come out with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining would be the optimal time. Because once you get released from the pits, you'll probably have about a minute 50 left. And it's kicked me back to Mattis Gamer Boss for some reason. Didn't like me just viewing these guys in the pits. So Zero comes out to try to improve on his lap. One final go for some of these guys. See Grainer having a really good lap. I think he was up there last week, pitted towards the end of the race, and unfortunately it kind of put him out. He did get the fastest lap, I believe. Wrath in the chat. No wet yet. Next week, probably. I don't know. Hungary can be a bit difficult with the wet setup or even wet conditions, but as I've mentioned to SF1 Harrison last season, Wrath, I actually find the wet races on this game a lot more capable, I guess you'd say, instead of the dry, because I believe a lot of people have practiced on the dry. I don't think many people have practiced on a wet race scenario. You do have a couple of the guys, but I know Carlos is one of them who practices wet before he practices dry. A lot of these guys on a flyer now. They will have enough time to get around just in case they invalidate this final go. JML's on an outlap now. Let's see if Sync Raynor can get himself improved. Coming up, he's gone through Sector 1, coming up to Sector 2 now. AlphaTauri is right there. That's Aruzia, as he's on an outlap. We have a Renault. Let's see if that's Eke. Eke is invalidated this outlap. Check it out. If it's Tom, he's on an outlap. We have McLaren there. Is that Hellboy? It is. He is on a flyer, so let's stay with Hellboy, see if he's improved. No, he's going to back it out and come into the pits. So the next McLaren will be Soap. Soap, he's on an outlap as well as anybody on a flyer. Let's see if Hubdy's on a flyer. He was, but he has invalidated his lap, so we now jump to the Haas. That is not Jono. It's definitely going to be his teammate. See if Sync can get himself on a higher time than a 30.2. 2 corners to navigate until he puts this lap in. About 45 seconds remain here. Crossing the line now. I think he turned down. He's going to go for one more flyer. Really hugging that inside line. Now we have a bunch of cars coming around. Zero is invalidated. So he's going to say P6. There comes Stig. Stig goes P4. Is that JML? JML's going to cross. Doesn't improve. I think he was on an outlap. Here comes Senna. Senna going to improve. He does. He does improve, but he stays P12. A lot of guys crossing the line now. I have to keep my eyes open. Gamer Boss is on an outlap. Let's see if he's going to have enough time to cross the line. Oh, he's going wide. He's got 3 seconds. I wonder if I have that timing glitch. I must have the timing glitch. No, he doesn't have enough time. He's going to cross the line. But he still sits provisional pole. Can that time hold? Are these guys going to best him? We have Eke. Is that Eke? No, Eke's invalidated, so that's his qualifying down. Let's check out his teammate. SF1 Tom stays P13. Jump to McLaren. Which one? That's got to be Soap because Hellboy has retired from the session. See if Soap can get himself further up. Ruzia has retired from the session as well. Soap is going to cross the line. Can he improve? Get himself higher? He goes P11. We have SF1 Tom. He's just started. Eke's pulling into the pit, so that's him over with. Hubdy pulls into the pit, so that's his qualifying over with. Couple guys pulling. Sync Raynor retires from P5. We have Enzo crossing line at P3. Hubdy Stig kind of bounces off the wall coming into the pit. See if Mama can get himself a time on the board. Very low on fuel, but last go at it. Invalidates on the final corner. Harrison on a flyer. Senna's retired. Let's see what time Harrison get on the board. It is going to be pretty quick. He's gone P2. Just behind GamerBoss only by 1/10. I think that's going to be it for qualifying. Somebody has just improved. I believe that was Paranel. I forget. I can't see. Oh, wow. What a qualifying session. It's GamerBoss, winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix, grabs another pole position this week for the United States Grand Prix. I'll give you guys a full rundown here. GamerBoss, provisional pole for the United States Grand Prix, followed by SF1 Harrison and JML. Solid duo run this evening for the Mercedes. We have Enzo in P4, Stig P5. We have Sync Raynor P6, Paranel P7. We have Shuf P8, Zero P9, Aruzia P10, Eke's P11. We have Soap P12, Hellboy P13, Senna P14, Tom P15, Hubdy P16, Smids P17, General P18, Carlos P19, and Mama without a time on the board, unfortunately, is P20. Oh no, Red Bull fighting 2 Mercs, never seen this before. Yeah, that's actually a good point. We have a Verstappen amongst the Bottas and Hamilton this evening. But as these guys load up, they're going to have a 5-minute complimentary break where I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the championship points after round 1 and rest my voice a little bit because this race is going to be hopefully pretty intense. clear skies. So nobody, like Raf mentioned, has any rain this week. So we're gonna give you guys a look at the combined championship as it stands after the first round. We have Ferrari leading the way with 132 points. Mercedes is sitting in second with or is actually kind of tied with Alfa Romeo for second with 103 points, both on the board. Red Bull 1 point behind both, sitting in fourth. We have Racing Point in fifth. We have Williams sixth. We have Renault in seventh. McLaren is eighth. We have AlphaTauri in ninth. And Haas is sitting right there in 10th. But I have a feeling that those guys will start making the points up. Cardinals rooting on the Renault team. We'll bounce to the GP1 points before we go racing here, ladies and gentlemen, as we have Gamer Boss winning last week's race of the Brazilian Grand Prix, holds on to the lead of the championship. Eke second. We have Harrison in third. We have Zero at fourth. We have JML fifth. We have Senna in sixth. Tom seventh. We have Shoof sitting eighth. We have Sink Rainer in ninth. We have Enzo sitting 10th. We have Paranel 11th. Hubd is 12th. Hellboy 13th. We have Mama in 14th. Amadeo, unfortunately, not able to race this evening in 15th. Aruzia 16th. We have Smid 17th. Stig 18th. Soap in 19th. And the man finally making his return, ladies and gentlemen. Jono is back in that Haas seat this evening for his first race. And I think it's been 3 months, three or something. He had an injury to his hand, so he couldn't race. But we'll see how it goes this evening. He's all healed up and just got word that the season had already started, so he's ready to go without any practice this evening. But I'm sure he can get a good race, and let's see how it does. But yeah, we're gonna have that nice 5 minute complimentary break, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. I'm gonna rest my voice, sip on some more of my coffee, and then we'll be bringing you guys 28 laps of the United States Grand Prix in no time. It is It is 03 on the board right now, so they should probably be going in probably 06 or 07. So not that much time to wait. I probably, got through some of that time myself, speaking of the championship points. But stay with us. Race coming to you in just a few moments. Looks like these guys are ready to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm back in the booth, getting ready to bring you guys all of the action. This week, I will remember to turn off the points board, as I remember last week I did not. Gamer Boss starting this race, pole position, so he's going to start right up in the front, JML. And unfortunately, I was talking to Harrison during that break, and he got exactly what happened to Zolo on GP2 on Friday, where he crossed. Zolo actually crossed. He joined the lobby late in qualifying, crossed the line P6, and then bumped him down to P19. Looks like it's happened to Harrison. This game needs sorted for sure, but we're going to get you guys all the detail up here. We'll definitely keep that up. Run down through. So you guys can see Carlos starting there. Mama just behind him. Harrison's gonna have to start. I wonder. Let's actually look at the tires that these guys put on. So Harrison's gonna start this race on a soft compound. That is an interesting call. I might have, actually probably would have gone for a medium, but we'll see how that ends up. So SF1 Stig, Sync Rainer, Paranel, a lot of these guys warming their tires on the back stretch. Gamer Boss in that Red Bull. How well is he gonna? Can he make it a Grand Slam weekend like he did last week from pole position? Brought home the win. We'll see how things go. I actually just noticed something. Eke is starting P10 on a medium compound. I wonder if those are new. They're definitely new. I wonder if it's because he behind. I'm tripping on my own words. Basically what I'm saying is because he didn't qualify in the top 10, I wonder if he was able to choose his tires still, and because that's why he's in P10 with medium compound, unless he set his lap on medium compound. These drivers are rounding the final corner, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he does, that's for sure. We're at ref. Alright, last final corner. A lot of these guys rounding now. Oh no, Paranel's left the session. Hopefully he can get himself back in. Everybody pulling up to their grid spots now, just waiting for everybody to be right up on the line, and we'll wait for those 5 red lights to tick out. That is a good view of Harrison's front end nose going on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for it. The 5 red lights at the United States Grand Prix. We're just waiting for it. Can I get a better camera angle? There we go. That is much better. 5 red lights are lit here for the United States Grand Prix. They are out and we're away. Can Gamer Boss get a good start? Looks like a couple guys already pointing the car. Look at the Ferrari making a great start going up the middle. Into the inside. Around first corner is kind of a blind corner. A bit of a traffic jam going on. End plates there, I see. Looks like everybody has survived through the first corner though, except for a little bit of minor damage. Coming up into the S's, where it's going to be side by side with half a car with a McLaren as a Haas going side by side. Jump back with Gamer Boss, who is leading this race as we speak. Everybody still making it through, so that is really good to see. No, Jono has retired from the session. I wonder if that is going to be a VSC or a virtual safety car. I don't see anything on the board, so it is still under green flag racing. I wonder if this track has a bug with VSC and a safety car as well. I see them on the board. Oh, there's definitely something on the board now. Let's bring that back up for you guys. The virtual safety car is out here for the United States Grand Prix. I think only GP3 was the one that got a safety car this whole week. GP2 only saw 2 virtual safety cars. So Jono, unfortunately, the early guy out. We have a drive-through already for Mama, and I'm gonna say this, that is definitely painful. I think that's Smids gets a drive-through as well, so the 2 racing points get a drive-through. That is definitely pretty painful. Paranel has joined the session as Jono leaves. Unfortunate for Jono. Gets back into the race and then ends up out. And Paranel gets Smids gets a second drive-through. That is not going to help his race at all. And now the Delta is going really screwy, as it usually does. Smids gets is that another drive-through? Smids gets disqualified from the session for multiple penalties. That is crazy to see it. He's jumped under his car. Oh, it's already kicked me out, but that's Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is crazy. I have a feeling Smids was getting penalties that he didn't even know he was getting penalties. But it looks like we're back to racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Enzo pulls up to P3. JML holding on to P2. Manus Gamer Boss a little bit further up the road, already 1.3 up the road. Sync Rainer just behind. Let's see this battle. We actually have Paranel just behind Hellboy, sandwiched in between the two McLarens. And it looks like Harrison's going to make a move on around the McLaren. Can he get the time? No DRS as of yet, only lap 2. Is he going to push the issue here? He's definitely got overtake on. Thought about it, pulled out. Paranel still leading this session. Harrison's going to dive on the outside. Leaves room. McLaren locks up to watch out for the AlphaTauri. He's going to have the inside line though. Are they close? It looks like Harrison made the move around Soap. However, Soap's not going to give up. He's going to go right side by side with him. Paranel, I think that's his ghosting car. As Gamer Boss still on the track. I usually say sets the fastest lap, but however, that's not the case. DRS is now available for these guys. Paranel's car is definitely a AI, I believe. Let's jump on board. Yeah, it is. We have Hubdy now. Can Hubdy get around and make use of that? Keep an eye on some of the other guys. Rainer now following SF1 Stig. Stig goes a little wide. Definitely one of these tracks I feel at Dirty Air is one of the more key factors I've noticed. Like a lot of the setups that I've run or I've tried, it has a lot of speed. Rosie gets a 3-second time penalty. Soap gets a 3-second time penalty. They feel great on a qualifying run, but as soon as you're in Dirty Air, it's just the car feels unimaginably, unbalanced, I would say. Let's see, Rainer, DRS just on the Alfa Romeo, just ahead. Is he going to go for it on the inside? He is. He's going to put the car on the inside. Side by side goes, sends Stig a little wide. I ran low front heavy rear here. I think I ran a 4.7 and it felt great, but didn't feel the greatest in the race. Sync Rainer goes, and Stig runs out wide, so he's going to be vulnerable to the Red Bull just behind him. That is going to be Schuf looking for a move. Let's take a look at Aruzia's view going on during this race with a couple guys just ahead of him. Aruzia, unfortunately, sitting on a 3-second time penalty already. F0 just ahead of him. Gamer Boss sets a fast lap here for lap 4 of the Grand Prix. A lot of these guys now have DRS, so it's going to be a DRS train just like we saw in Brazil. Harrison sets a fast lap to counteract Gamer Boss's lap. Everybody's just really pushing the issue here. Let's jump on board with Stig. Look at his rear view. Schuf gets a little out of control. That's going to lead Zero to go through. That was quite a catch there. Schuf did really well to hold on to the car. Now he's going to be vulnerable to Aruzia just behind him. Stig having a good run so far, staying P5. Went a little wide, and unfortunately that put him out behind Rainer. Stig gets a 3-second time penalty. Like I said, these penalties will come thick and heavy. I have a feeling. On board, we have Schuf and Eke having a go with each other, and Hellboy's just sitting behind. We'll jump on board. I know I'm jumping on board quite a bit. Sorry, I'm also watching the comments, but Eke has DRS, Schuf has DRS. Who's good? No, nobody's gonna back out going into the next turn. Side by side, no contact made. Schuf gets a little loose. It's gonna allow Eke to have the inside line. Is he gonna push the issue, push the car out? No. Clean racing from both of them, the Renault and the Red Bull. Oh. Shoot, that's Soap going right. No, that's not Soap. That's Harrison. Harrison putting the shoulders out to try to get a position up. Harrison is not backing down. He's unfortunately put down at the back. He's going to have to push on here from P10. Starting on a soft compound, though, so he's trying to get himself up the order as quick as possible. But a lot of these guys now, Gamer Boss, 2 seconds up the road. JML sitting in P2. Enzo's P3. Stig right now still battling Rainer. We have Zero now just behind the Alfa Romeo versus teammate. Senna has moved to the pits and put on a hard compound. He's sitting on a penalty. I'm not sure if it's a 3-second. He just cut the corner like crazy. Ruzia gets a second time penalty, so that's going to put him up to 6 seconds. lot of these guys in the mid-pack really close. It's unfortunate Gamer Boss is just owning his pace at the beginning of this set. The 2.2 seconds out separates himself from pretty much the runner-up, I would say, of GP2 last season. Had the pace definitely to win GP2, but unfortunately had a lot of misfortune happening during the season and had to back out and decided when he came back he wanted a GP1 seat instead. He didn't want to be in GP2. And how can you fault the guy, especially when he showed us his new updated times? We were like, oh yeah, you're definitely GP1 now. And look at him, he's in P2 right now. He's having a great race. Zero still battling the Alfa Romeo just ahead. Let's take a look at some of the other battles. Shoot, trying to hold on as Hellboy just behind him. So right behind the other Alfa Romeo, is Hubdy going to go to the pits? No, he's going to guard the inside line. That's quite a... he's moving out of the way though. No, he's just trying to break the DRS train, I think. I think he's going to tuck back in behind McLaren as soon as they go up to turn 1. SF1 Carlos having a good quiet race so far. P14 reserving for Almondale. Keep an eye on some of the other guys trying to follow the Delta. A lot of these guys are 4/10 or 5/10, but oh, aerial camera. Stig goes out a little wide again. Gets a little loose on the exit. That's going to allow Zero to have a look. Oh, Aruzzi gets a great run. Is he going to put the car on the inside? He is. What a move. What a late move from Aruzzi. Perino gets a 3-second time penalty. What a move from... Oh, this is going to be... Here we go. Here comes the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari. Are they going to make it 3 wide into this turn? They are. Who's going to back? Oh, the Russi is not going to back out. Tom doesn't gets himself a 3-second time penalty. They're going to go 3 wide. Oh, that was shoulders are definitely out there. Russia now gets shouldered out by Zero. Zero makes his way up to P5. And Stig is going to have a nice little battle with it. Russia is going to go around the long way. Wow. GML gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So that's going to put him 5.7 seconds behind Manus Gamer Blast. Stig goes out wide again. He's going to get another 3 seconds. Schuf gets a 3-second. These guys are picking up the penalties like crazy. But this mid-pack battle is crazy. Pit window open for SF1 Stig. Let's see how long he can take those soft compounds. Not sure how many laps he did on them during qualifying. Pretty sure they're a brand new set when he set his lap to get a P4 or P5. Do have Hellboy still working on the back of the Red Bull. Unfortunately, Smid so far at DSQ and Jono in early DNF are only 2 casualties this evening in GP1. Eke gets a 3-second time penalty. Eke, I believe, might be struggling a little bit on those mediums. I will say, when I started on the mediums on Friday, they felt horrible for the first, I'd say, 5 or 6 laps until they really started to come to life. Soap gets himself a 3-second time penalty. I think that might be why some of the guys at the back started on soft instead of those medium compounds. Probably a better call than starting on a medium, but Eke still holding on to the car. Russia side by side with Stig again, going into the hairpin, pushed out a bit wide. Senna gets a 3-second time penalty. Stig is not backing off. These two are just going to have one heck of a race. Now Harrison's coming up behind. His old teammate, Aruzia, goes out wide. Whoa, what has happened? Aruzia makes contact with his old teammate in the McLaren duo. That's going to send Eke around. Eke's going to get around, and Schuf is now going to have a look at the inside of Aruzia. Aruzia is really pushing that AlphaTauri as much as he can this evening. It's going to send Schuf out wide just to make sure they both have room to go across. Now, that's going to leave Hellboy to have a look at Aruzia. Aruzia, unfortunately, is just getting his muscles out and getting muscled back by some of these guys. I mean, these guys are really pushing the envelope this evening when it comes to spatial awareness in cars. And Enzo gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So the two in the podium right now, JML and Enzo sitting on 3 seconds. Sig Rainer could have an easy podium here as long as he keeps it clean and gets himself. He could go for it on track, which most drivers usually do. Ruzia's 3-second time penalty, so he's up to 9 now. Yellow flag. Aruzia is done with this race. Is that going to be a safety car? Sector 2 yellow. He's right on the track. I'm surprised they haven't called it yet. Virtual safety car. So just like GP2, we are now up to 2 virtual safety cars. Arusia's luck is just, I don't know if he's had a bit of a moment where he's getting pushed out or not. I have no idea, but his qualifying pace is immensely improved from last season. Unfortunately, so far this season, he hasn't had the kind of luck to turn around in the race. This man leading the way. JML 5.4 seconds behind with a time penalty. Let's see if anybody unfortunately gets to drive through. That is something to watch here at the United States Grand Prix. Yeah, like I just said, Perino gets a drive through under virtual safety car that puts Stig up in position. Oh no, that puts Harrison up in position. Stig dives for the pits. So we have 3 casualties so far in this race. Keep an eye on this man chasing down the Williams just ahead as Gamer Boss dove for the pits and early. And Perino gets a 10-second corner cutting penalty. That is rough. So not only is he going to have to drive through, he's going to get a 10-second penalty. And I would say I got to drive through on Friday, and it completely ruined my race. If the rest of this race stays clean, then you pretty much don't have anything to race for. I mean, the points, that's for sure. Harrison gets himself a 3-second time penalty. A lot of these guys, besides Rayner, have a time penalty. And Gamer Boss as well. So those two staying clean on the board. Hellboy staying clean. Could have a lot of positions gained in this race if he stays clean all the way through. Guys are spaced out just a bit. We have Tom looking at the back of Paranel in his AlphaTauri. We also have Zero looking at the back of Sync Rayner. Unfortunately, Zero sitting on a time penalty as we have it. Everybody keeping it quite clean. Keep an eye on this man. He's going to make his way up through the field on a brand new medium compound. Should take him about 18 laps. That is definitely doable. It's nice that I can talk about this now too, because I've returned to racing. I know what to expect on the tires. We have a yellow sector 2 for an AlphaTauri. That is now Perino. What has happened to him? He's gone off. No damage to speak of, though. I wonder if his tires are just... does he have a flat tire? No flat tire to speak of either. Perino has left the session. I'm not sure if he's having connection issues or not. I bet the car is going to pull in for a pit stop. Yeah, it's going to automatically pull him in for a pit stop. Mama sitting... coming up to almost a lap down. JML leading this race on soft compounds as Gamer Boss dove in early to make that strategy work for a 1-stop. I wonder if he's going to try a 2-stop this evening. Sorry about that. I'm back here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I missed too much. A lot of these guys pushing a couple guys. A lot of guys actually diving for the pits now to go onto the medium compounds. Let's see how they get through. A couple guys opting for the hard compound. Stig has gone for the hard compounds. Zero has gone for the hard compound. Enzo opted for a medium compound. Space is a bit scattered. We do have Red Bull Shuf working on the back of SF1 Stig. He's on overtake through the S's. That is a bit brave. closer. Move on board with Booth and that Red Bull, trying to push the issue. Ruzier, what is going on? Had mega qualifying pace to say today in qualifying. Schuf is gonna have a run on Stig. Here we go, side by side into the hairpin. He's gonna have a look. Is he gonna hold the car as well? He definitely is. That's a couple guys that have made a move on SF1 Stig going into the hairpin. Stig's gonna hold on to the back, gets himself another time penalty. Actually, on lap 13, guys, I'm gonna give you guys the look or an update on the penalties as we have it so far in this race. I'm sure there's quite a bit. Harrison now moves to the lead as JML dives for the pits to go into the medium compound. Sig Rainer is going to dive into the pits. He's probably going to put on the medium compound as well. Yep, definitely the call to make. I know the game tells you to go into a hard compound. You can definitely do a soft to medium. You just have to nurse those softs as long as possible. Sink out now just next to the Ferrari driver. Going into the S's side by side, this could never lead to good things. Gamer Boss gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So now the guys up top are all even on the board. Where is the Ferrari at side by side? No, he's backed out of the battle between himself and Sink Rainer and the Haas. Keep an eye on some of these guys ahead. Anybody super close? Gamer Boss now coming up to a nice battle with Harrison. That Gamer Boss already made his pit stop. Harrison yet to make his pit stop. I think he let JML pit first. They didn't want to double stack the Mercedes team. However, they've done so in real life, and they've been quite fine with it. As Harrison goes a bit wide, and you have... Oh, Gamer Boss is going to have quite of a fight. Let's take a look with Eke. Eke hasn't pitted yet either. These two and the guys fighting for the lead. This is pretty much the top three that were fighting for the lead last week. Harrison is going to dive for the pits. This is allowing Eke to pull closer. However, Eke is going to have to pit eventually as well. But DRS is his to chase down Gamer Boss and maybe put him under a little bit of pressure to see if they can kind of bring JML into this battle, seeing that those guys all now sitting on a 3-second time penalty. Schuf gets a 3-second time penalty. Lap 13, that's what I said. I was going to give you guys a look at the penalties. We have 3 seconds for the top 4 right now. Sink Rainer still staying clean. We have 3 seconds for 0. We have 6 seconds for Schuf. Harrison is sitting on 3 seconds. Stig is on 12 seconds. Elboy is on, or he's clean. Hubdy is clean. We have Tom on 15. Soap is on 6. Carlos is clean. We have 6 for Senna, and we have 13 for Paranel, and Mama is clean. But Mama, unfortunately, is down the order from an early, I think, lap 1 problem. Let's look at the positions, actually. Eke's up 8, yet to pit. Zero's up 2. We have yellow sector 1 and 2. That is a Renault, or is that a McLaren? That is a McLaren. SF1 Tom has retired from this race. Is that going to be the safety car? And he's well off on the corner, though. I don't think they're going to call it anything. Let's see. No, it's back to racing, so it's nothing from that incident, but Harrison's up 11 positions. He's now on the medium compound to chase down the guys ahead. He's really close to SF1 Stig and Schuf as well. Let's get the tire situation back up. Oh, let's actually jump on board with Schuf and give a rear view mirror of SF1 Stig chasing him down as well as Harrison. SF1 Stig finishing 3rd in the championship last season, looking to have a good race season, a good season this year. Try to get a little closer. Paranel has joined. We saw, I believe that was, I can't remember. Get myself so crossed up. Stig battling Schuf. Gamer Boss now retakes the lead of this race. Eke gets a 3-second time penalty again, so that is hurting him quite a bit. This track, the track limits will come out and bite you if you try to press the issue too much. Anybody really close? We have Harrison and Stig still going after it. Are they close enough to shoot where Harrison and Stig are going to both get DRS? We'll see. Stig's right on the back of that Mercedes. They're closing in the gap between themselves and the Red Bull. Is he going to think about going for it? No, he is. He's going to back out. Oh, that was close. Stig stays behind the Mercedes for the time being. Hubdy making his way through. Sitting clean on the board right now in P11. Has made his box for a medium compound. Boys sitting P10. Those guys both could jump up quite a bit if they can keep it clean the whole way through the remainder of this race without a time penalty, because the guys ahead of them, like Stig, have 3 seconds. JML sets another fast lap. That's who it was beforehand. JML sets a 134.2, so he's really, really on it right now. 2 laps on those medium compounds. Gamer Boss, his tires are going to be pretty shot by the end of this race. I wonder if he can nurse those things, or if he's going to go for a 2-stop. Used to have no pens. Well, slow. Zero gets another time penalty. Sitting on hard compounds. I have a gear glitch on him, and that is the most annoying thing. Hopefully they fixed that next game. There's a couple things that I hope they fix in this game. Actually, not a couple, several things. Harrison now makes it around Schoof to go chase down Zero, who's made the turn to go around the backstretch. Sink still staying clean on the board with no penalties to his name, sitting on 2 laps, so he can have a good finish here. It is just about. Let's actually look at the gap between these guys and the leaders. An interval from the leader. So Sink is about 13 seconds out from the lead from these guys leading the pack. That puts him relatively close. We'll have to keep an eye and see if these guys get more of a time penalty towards the end. EA dumping money. 2022, I'm hoping it will be a decent game. Hopefully they didn't spend all their money on just buying the title or the company. Or, worst case scenario, they're going to make their money back with loot boxes. I've seen it happen quite a bit. Still getting a little out of shape there, trying to stay behind. The Red Bull Soap is coming just behind the Alfa Romeo of Hubdy. Soap sitting on a time penalty though, gets a little out of shape. Arliss is doing really well. Quiet race for himself so far. P13, no time penalty to his name. Just turning the laps in for the Williams. And he unfortunately had himself quite a race on Friday as well. Getting a drive-through just like myself. Yeah, I read that. It said that the racing gaming community was an untapped potential from EA, so that just scares me, that quote. Which means loot boxes. Untapped for gambling people's money away. Soap is getting closer and closer to the Alfa Romeo. Stay with these guys. Stay with Hubsy. See how he can battle. He does have quite a bit of ERS still saved up. It's lower now. It's 30. He's really trying to hold on to this position in P11. I would actually say let Soap go and just hold on to the back of him as long as you can, because Soap is on a time penalty as well as a couple of guys ahead of him. Soap does make it up to P11. Hubsy sticks just behind. Is he going to have another go? No, he's going to stay behind. Just giving him a little bit of a notice saying, hey, I'm still here. I'm going to follow you through the rest of this Sector 3. A couple of guys having a little bit of traction issues through that final, or that corner there. That aerial camera is lovely. Stay with that for the time being. As we have Soap getting another time penalty, so that's going to be, that's going to hurt him towards the end of this race. We're at lap 17. Just about 10 laps to remain here. 11 laps, a little bit give or take, depending on where Madness Gamer Boss is. He is around the backstretch now, so yeah, he's about half a lap away from starting the final 10 laps here. J-Mail and Enzo? Oh, I thought that was Enzo having a go. Is that? No. That's Sync Rainer, and I'm going after it. Yellow Sector 3 for a second. Not sure what that was. I wonder if that was for... That wasn't for Schoof. I wonder if that was for Gamer... Or, yeah, it was not. Could have been for Paranel. Keep an eye on these two. Rainer is starting to put the Sector 2, 3 yellow. Who's going slowly? That is a Alfa Romeo. Is that Stig? Or is that Hubdy? That was definitely Stig. I'm not sure what happened there. No damage from the Alfa Romeo, though. Eke put on a set of softs, so keep your eyes peeled on the Renault driver. See how much he can put down on those new soft, sticky compounds. Fastest of the compound set. Can he put himself further up the field? He is sitting on a couple time penalties, though. And everybody's now a bit spaced out, so what a time to have a breather with 10 laps left. I'm sure that's going to change. They can make career part win, yeah, pay for resources. I hope not, because that would just completely ruin the game. Nobody will play career mode then. We'll give you guys one more penalty update, I'm sure. Let's do it at lap 26 before we just cross for the penultimate lap. We'll give you guys a look at so plenty of time for more penalties to come into play here. Everybody's super close. We have Eke chasing down Alfa Romeo. We have Carlos chasing down Hubdy here. Sitting clean on the board with no penalties, so this is definitely for positions. You have Soap trying to break the toe coming from the Alfa Romeo. Carlos is going to go for it on Hubdy. Puts the inside line. Clean move. It looks like Carlos is up in position for the Williams. See if Hubdy puts the battle back to him. Both of them sitting on 5-lap old mediums too, so this could be a battle we watched. Paranel gets himself a 3-second time penalty. For these guys, both are racing for position, so let's see how it goes. Eke sets the fastest lap, which you would expect. Being on a brand new soft, he's going to go for a look on the inside around. Locks up heavily just to make sure there's no contact made. Stig now down to P9. They are chasing down Schufield just ahead, going through the S's here. Stig a little late on the brakes, a little late on the turn in. I wonder if the setup, I know he's not running a USA setup, he's running a different setup. As he gets a 3-second time penalty for that. I don't think that was warranted of a penalty, but Harrison picked up the penalty as well. A lot of these guys picking up time penalties. That's pretty much reminiscent of GP2 and 3 this week. I was really surprised that this track made it onto the 18 race calendar. Eke makes it past Shu on a brand new soft compound. If Sync Rainer wants a shot at P2, he's going to have to get it past Enzo. I'm looking at the times now, the delta. And Enzo is 3 seconds behind JML. Shoof, these guys all having quite a classy battle. Tom has left the session, unfortunate for Tom. Crashing out of this race. Constant Ryan Eke taking 2.2 out of Stig in a lap on a pad. GOAT confirmed. He's always been the GOAT. See how far he can get up. He sets a fast lap now at 33.1. That is GP1 qualifying times, guys. In a race, you know this guy is putting his throttle down. See if he can get himself closer to Harrison. It's 3.2 seconds up the road. Harrison now catching the back of that Ferrari of 0 on hard compound. So Harrison should have the compound. What was the word I'm looking for? Advantage. That's it. He should have the compound advantage going into this. Getting closer and closer. He is within DRS range. Sync is closing the gap between himself and Enzo as well. Jump on board with Harrison, the Mercedes. As Carlos gets his first time penalty of the race. So that is going to put him in contention battle a little bit harder with Hubdy sitting just 1.2 behind him. Harrison gets closer to 0. Easy does it. He went a little deep into that corner. A lot of these guys pressing the track limits. I definitely have the gear glitch on 0 still. I can hear it in the spectator cam. Harrison is inching closer and closer. I have to jump on this battle too, as we have Rainer getting closer and closer to Enzo. Rainer having a really good race so far, staying clean all the way through. If he can get around Enzo and push up a little bit harder, he could take over P2 from JML. Could be a solid race from the Haas driver this evening. Let's jump back down with Harrison chasing the Ferrari. As the Ferrari teammate dives to the pits for a new soft compound, possibly to try to go for a fast lap of the race, as Harrison makes a sweeping move to get around Zero in turn 1 to go up to P5. Harrison defending GP1 champion, so he has a lot to race for. I know that man's out to put the laps in and get a second championship in GP1. It's going to be a little tougher this season. This competition has grown. But he is definitely one of the top contenders for that title. A solid race, though, so far from the McLaren, or not the McLaren, Mercedes team. P2 and P5. We have a move with Stig, and Schoof just caught the end of it going into that. What is going on there? I don't know. Not sure where Stig was going there. I don't know if he lost traction or if his hard compounds are starting to let him go just a bit. But yeah, he wound up going really far off the track. With Hubdy now chasing down Williams again. This is a little bit more for position. However, Hubdy is clean, so Carlos has a lot to worry about with the Alfa Romeo being just behind. Yes, I absolutely love the aerial camera, so I'm going to stay on board with Hubdy. They need more of these. I wish in spectator mode you can choose the camera instead of just going on board and then watching spectate mode. Hubdy getting closer and closer to the Williams. He is going to have DRS. He is pretty low on ERS though. How is Carlos doing? He has a lot of his ERS saved up, so he's going to definitely try to defend this as much as possible. I have to keep a look on some of the other guys. Delta, 710s, 610s, a lot of 710s. We have 510s now. Eke is now chasing down the Ferrari of Zero, both on time penalties. 4 laps until I check on those time penalties, so still 4 laps to go until some of these guys can rack up some major time penalties. As Senna sets the fastest lap of the race with a 132.9. His teammate here battling the Renault and the Mercedes for position. Sink does get past. I just missed it, but Sink does get past Enzo for P3. Enzo sitting on a time penalty. I wonder if he's going to try to fight back. Sink now. 5/10 separates himself from JML. He's got to get within that 5/10 if he wants P2 as well. Because I know JML sitting on a 3-second time penalty. Sink's going to have just about 6 or 5 laps to push that Haas car and get himself further up. His teammate in GP2 with winning the United States Grand Prix, so it could be a solid week so far for the Haas team. Enzo just behind going into turn 1. Harrison is starting to catch these guys. Eke is just behind that Ferrari, putting a little pressure on him. Will he opt to try to make the Ferrari make a mistake? Eke's getting closer and closer. Stay on board with these guys battling. Stig getting closer to Schoof now. Is he going to have another mistake? I'm not sure. I still think it's down to his setup, but he's running a different track setup. Eke now just behind the Ferrari. Ferrari should, no, he's out of DRS range, so this should be a pretty simple overtake for the Renault. Oh, come on, camera. Give me the better view. There's Harrison just ahead. Eke around the Ferrari, pulls back to the racing line. Position gained right away. Eke's now going to push against Harrison. It is going to be a hard race for Harrison as well. And Enzo. Enzo's not too far down the line. Can we see him from Harrison's point of view? Oh, yeah, he's right up there. Eke, what a turnaround. I mean, regardless of penalties, he's making those tires and the strategy work quite well. Stig still battling Shoof here. Hellboy gets himself a 3-second time penalty. As Hubdy still just behind SF1 Carlos. Lap 24 out of 28. 4 laps remain. GamerBot still holding on the lead of this race. Could convert it to a nice pole position to a win. What do they call it? Grand Slam. Well, usually it's Grand Slam if you're fastest in practice, but we don't have practice. We do have practice on Saturdays if anybody's interested in watching this. If you guys want to get involved with SF1, make sure you jump onto our Discord. Jump into the lobbies. We have open practice for everybody that is involved with the Discord. You don't have to have a full-time seat in the GPs. If you just want to practice and turn some laps with some of these guys, you are more than welcome to. Bill from GP2 usually hosts those on Saturdays. Normal racing time 20:30. Lobby at 2010, or not 2010, but 2015. Keep an eye on Okay, still pushing the gap between himself and Mercedes just ahead. Here goes Stig. Is he gonna get a run on the Red Bull side by side? Into the turn. Shoof gonna have a look. Ooh, that was close. Was running overtake at a very interesting part of the track. I wouldn't say Stig gets another time penalty and probably gets himself a warning there as well. That's gonna put him up pretty low on the board. He's got quite a few time penalties to his name, as everybody except for Mama, Sink Rainer, and Hubdy now have a time penalty. But Sink is now losing a little bit of time between himself and JML just ahead. These guys close on the board. Eke is pushed in. Zero gets himself a time penalty. A lot of these guys are gonna bounce. I have no idea where these guys are gonna finish come the end of this race. I will look at the penalties within one lap, but even being so, I have no idea what's gonna happen. A lot of these guys pulling to the inside of the track to try to break the toe from the guys behind. Oh, that gear glitch. This sounds horrible. Can Sink get himself closer? We have a nice battle coming up with Enzo. Enzo and Harrison. This is a good battle coming up, possibly. These two battling for the title for 2 seasons in a row. Enzo winning the first 2, and Harrison picking up last season's title. So I know these two know each other quite well. They do talk to each other a lot as well. They have a lot of respect for each other. It could be a nice battle brewing up in the wake. JML gets himself another time penalty, so that puts Sink right on to the podium for P2. That could put a couple of the other guys on for a podium. Lap 26, let's jump to the penalties. We have 6 seconds for JML. We have 3 for GamerBoss. Sink is sitting clean. Enzo has 3. We have Harrison on 6. Eke's on 6. Zero's on 9. Stig is on 18. We have Shoof on 6. We have Hellboy on 3. Sopa's on 9. Carlos is on 3. Enzo just gets another one. We have Senna on 9. We have Perna on 16. Mama's clean as a whistle. So, I mean, I'd have to say if it stays clean between Hubdy and Rainer, pretty much candidate for driver of the day. However, I know it's probably going to give it to Harrison. A couple guys making up. Carlos has made up 6 positions. We have Stig down 4 positions. Harrison has made it up 15 positions. Shoof down 2. Stig down 4. Unfortunately, let's jump back to the tire situation. Carlos gets himself a 3-second time penalty, which could be huge. No, don't look at the pens. Want to see the checkered flag. I'm not going to look at him anymore after that, Crutchy. But look at the battle coming up now for these guys. Sink is really trying to hold on to that P3. Could convert it into a P2 with what could transpire towards the last few laps. He's got to keep it clean. I think that's why he's a little bit slow. He's trying to inch his way around this board, but he is coming up to that 1 second though between himself and Nelson's fast lap of the race, 132.6. If Sink wants this podium on P2, he's got to push now because he's down to 1 second. That only separates himself from JML. Shoof gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's jump on board with the Haas driver with a train of cars behind him. We have Enzo, we have Harrison, we have Eke on brand new softs. As Zero picks up another time penalty. Let's actually jump on board with Eke as he's following the Mercedes. I keep stumbling over that. He's going to get close with this and locks up the front left quite a bit. Reino goes in the inside to try to break the toe. Harrison follows as well as Enzo. And Eke is going to stay the line. That's pretty much what I would do. And they're all going to come back to the racing line right before the hairpin. All of them locking up, except for Harrison. I don't think I saw a lock up from Harrison. Alright, now it's really close between these guys. As JML is starting to catch Manus Gamer Boss. I wonder if his tires are shot. He's got a lap to go here. Is his tires going to hold on? He's going to be putting 18 laps on these medium compounds. Paranos, that's the fast lap of the race. Manus Gamer Boss starts the final lap of this race. JML 1.9 seconds behind. Sync Rainer 5.7. He's got a... Oh, geez, why did it jump to there? Enzo, Eke, a lot of these guys super close. Rest of the gap is pretty spaced out. JML really trying to put that the Mercedes power down to try to catch the Red Bull. Sync. Oh, it's got to push. He's 5.8 now. He's just going to miss out if he's got to get closer. And you just have Enzo right behind him, who's not going to make life easy. JML's out of the ERS. So is Gamer Boss. Sync out of the ERS. Enzo pretty much out. Harrison has a lot to go in the tank. Eke is out. So, I mean, it is going to come across the line, guys. Get ready. This is going to be quite an interesting finish. This man is going to cross the line to win. If he can hold on, as long as he doesn't get another time penalty, he could jump. Oh no, Sync's falling out. He's got to get closer. He's got to push the last couple corners. But this man's going to cross the line and win the United States Grand Prix, making that early pit stop work. Sync's right there at 5.9. Let's see how it goes. Oh, Stig's retired. Manus Gamer Boss wins. JMO finishes P2. Will that hold? Is Sync going to get it at the last bit? He does. P2, JMO P3, Enzo P4, Harrison P5, Eke P6, Zero P7. Hellboy now coming down the last bit of Sector 3. I don't know, what happened to Stig? Where did he crash out at? I'm not sure. That's going to push him down the order. Here comes Hellboy to cross the line. He's going to stay P8 for the time being. Runs into that car as Shoot cross the line. So Hubdy, where's Soap going to cross? Stays P10. Hubdy is backed off just a little bit. He's going to cross the line and move up to P10. Carlos is coming around. He does have Senna just behind him. This would have been a good battle to watch. However, these guys are now around to the final corner of this race. SF1 Carlos is going to cross the line. P12, and Senna's going to stay P13. Paranel Mama finishes P16. Stig finishes P14. So our last driver across the line goes cross. Actually, he's going to finish P14. Stig now P15. Have to wonder what happened to SF1 Stig. JML left. I know usually JML from GP2 last season mostly doesn't give us a podium interview, so that's unfortunate. We'll definitely talk to the top two guys as we have Paranel coming across the line to finish the United States Grand Prix and run into the Red Bull and the Mercedes there. Driver of the day, SF1 Harrison. give you guys a rundown of the race results for the United States Grand Prix Round 2. Gamer Boss makes it 2 out of 2 this evening with the win at United States. Sync Rainer jumps up to P2. JML finishes on the podium to round out the top 3 guys. Enzo finishes P4, Harrison P5, Eke P6, Zero P7, Hellboy P8, Shoof P9, Hubdy P10. We have Soap P11, Carlos P12, Senna P13, Paranel P14, and unfortunately our casualties this evening, Stig in P15, Mama in P16. We have SF1 Tom P18, Aruzia P9 or 18, Smids P19, and Jono P20. Let's move on to our podium interviews. Get these guys in quick. I have no idea where he's gone. Can't bust. Do you have Sync on your friends list? I can't find him. I don't know where he's gone.
I can try to invite him.
He's not even showing up on my list. Oh, there he is. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to kick this off. I know JML usually doesn't give us a podium interview, so that's unfortunate. But we do start with P3, so I'm just going to send a big solid congratulations to the man, JML, for finishing on the podium. Sync, I did send an invite, but I don't see him here yet, so we're going to finish this one off. Gamer Boss, you did it again. 2 out of 2 for the season so far. You made that strategy work, especially under the VSC. You pulled in early to put on the medium compound, which you have to tell me how beat up were those tires towards the end of that race, because it did seem like you still had the pace towards the end of it to hold off JML and Sync for the win.
Yeah, it was a risky stretch, really. The tires were pretty beat up. I was just worried about getting a puncture, so on the whole stint, I just kind of backed off. I had a big gap behind, and the guy behind me, JML or something, he was quite fast, he was catching me, but he got a second pen, and after that I was just bringing the tires home, to say the least.
Yeah, I did catch that where he got the second penalty, which then put him in a bit of a sticky situation with Sync Rainer. I thought maybe Sync could have a nice push towards the end, but he was battling Enzo, Harrison, and Eke for I think it was like 3 or 4 laps towards the end of it, but you did what you had to do. So heading into Hungary next week, how do you feel about the short race track?
Hungary, it's a quite good track for me, so yeah, let's see what I can do.
I mean, nothing to take away from that. Solid win this evening. One huge congratulations. Let's see if this man can make it 3 out of 3 next week.
Yes, thank you.
Of Problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our stream this evening at United States Grand Prix for GP1. Make sure you tune in for GP3 that goes on Thursday, where they start with the Hungarian Grand Prix, followed by GP2 go at it on Friday. And these guys take to Hungary next Sunday. Same time, same channel. Thank you for everybody tuning in this evening on all the comments, keeping me well entertained. This man, one big congrats to GamerBoss for winning. We'll send a congratulations to Rainer for P2 and JML for P3. But until next week, hopefully everybody stays safe. We will catch you guys next week. We are going to sign out. Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Well, we won't see you soon. We'll see you on Thursday. Good night.